Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Emily Seelman. I am the founder and CEO of Cannabis Services. Right now I am quarantining, aka I'm just sitting at my house, and I wanted to do a video on current application statuses and how you can get involved in the industry through applying with your state. In this video, I wanted to discuss kind of the overview of what an application process looks like and what I mean when I say a business operating application license in the cannabis industry. It's a cool, unique little niche in the market that offers a wealth of opportunity for people. And by wealth of opportunity, I mean it is a cash cow if you can land a license. So if you are ready to learn more about what it takes to apply for a cannabis business license, feel free to tune in to the rest of this video. There's a number of ways to get involved in the industry. One of my favorites is applying for an operation license with your state. The question I often get asked is, how does that work? Well, first, the state that you want to apply in has to be open. And by open, I mean the state has to have a legal cannabis market. Generally speaking, a state will roll out a medical cannabis program first, where they allow medical patients to sign up for a card where they can purchase medical cannabis from a dispensary.
Do you have a medical marijuana card?
No, but my son does.
What does he have it for?
To buy his dad medical marijuana.
And then after they do that, after a certain period of time, usually a couple years, a state will then roll out its adult use program, which is another word for recreational, or you don't need a medical card, you can be 21 or older and you can just walk into the dispensary. When a state opens its medical cannabis program or its adult use program, there's an opportunity or a window in which people can apply for an operation license to own a business. It happens in a couple categories: dispensary, manufacturing, it's also called production, it's also called extraction or infusion. There's different names for it and different caveats to it, but generally speaking, it's manufacturing, or cultivation. Cultivation meaning you're growing the plant. Now, every state has different tier limits, every state has different size restrictions, things like that. But generally speaking, those are the three categories: dispensary, manufacturing, and cultivation. So when that happens, a state may drop an RFP or an RFA, which means a request for applications or a request for proposals. For the shortened term, it just means a state opens its application process. And when it does that, that offers people like you and me the chance to apply for a license in that state. So just by example, recently Georgia opened up its medical cannabis program, where patients are allowed to purchase low THC medical cannabis oil. Right now, there is an application window, and that application window is actually closing soon, so I don't recommend anyone jumping in to apply right now if you haven't already started, but it gives a good example of how that process works. Georgia rolled out its regulations, and then it opened its RFP window. It released a request for proposals, and then people have an opportunity to apply using the request for proposal standards and directions that are requested by the state. And then they can submit that application to the state. Sounds pretty easy, right? It is not easy. So generally speaking, these application rounds can take weeks, if not months, to put together. And I would say the biggest difference between winners and losers of a license are the ones who actually start to work on what will be required in the application well before the application round opens. That's because there's so much to do in such a short amount of time. You need everything from a solid team, cannabis experience, a location selected, money in the bank, all kinds of things. And of course, you have to write narratives to the questions that they ask. And you have to show them a security plan. You have to show them your operations plans, your packaging and labeling, all of these different things that if you're new to the industry, you may not know how to answer. So I highly recommend getting a consultant, because these things can easily become overwhelming and you may be well within the deadline range and then you realize I'm in over my head. We are very selective of our clients because we know what it takes to put together a winning team. Oftentimes we've encountered people who've sought to work with us, but they're not really put together teams. They're not really worth it. It would just be really stealing from them, because we don't want your money if you're not actually prepared to play full in. There's plenty of consultants out there that will take your money and put together basically a templated application, but when you're competing against hundreds and thousands of other applicants, you need to be one of the top 10 to win a license. You don't need someone who is super, super cheap. You don't need the Walmart of applications.
Look like a piece of crap to you? You have them spinning tires, do you?
You need something that is customized to really reflect your team and reflect you better than anybody else. Because remember, you're not only going up against every other applicant in your state, you're going up against multi-state operators. These guys are kind of like the ones that have been around for the beginning and really play to win. These are the ones that can show tens of millions of dollars in their bank account. They can show multi-state experience, and you're going up against them. So you need to have your own unique twist on what you bring to this industry and what you'll bring to that state. Now you may be wondering, who the heck would want to do this? This sounds miserable. It is miserable.
You'll be drinking early today.
You still have the ringing in your ears.
Oh, it's getting worse. Are you kidding? I'm getting busy signals now.
But it is also a great opportunity to get involved in an industry that is booming right now. There is no other experience in my lifetime that has offered these opportunities for people who want to get into a new industry that is just starting to bloom. And so I think it's a great opportunity for people. And in fact, if you are one of the lucky winners of a license, you can actually be sitting on a cash cow. These licenses are worth millions of dollars, but you have to be willing to play hard, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes, and you have to be willing to listen to the consultants when they ask you to do certain things that'll get you closer to that finish line and help you get a competitive application over one that may not be very good.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative. That I love. I absolutely love.
So before a round opens up, we generally get our clients and then we help them figure out what the best strategy is to move forward to get an application, so that by the time the application round opens or the RFP is released or the RFA is released, they are well on their way to submitting a really great application. We know what it takes to put together a winning application, and we also know what a losing application looks like. So we can help you figure out if this is the right step for you and help you apply as well. So if you are interested in applying for the next round that opens up in the next state, we would love to talk to you more. Feel free to visit us at www.cannabusinessservices.com. Again, that's www.cannabusinessservices.com.